This is a story that's been passed down from generation to generation. It's called Demi Lovato and the Philosopher's Stone, starring Tila Tequila as Hermione, and Holden Caulfield as Ron, and Demi Lovato as herself, the Grinch as Voldemort, Snoop Dogg as Dumbledore, DMX as Malfoy. Okay. I'll start singing the theme song now, I suppose. Okay. Once upon a time in 1982, Demi Lovato was born. Later that year, it was Christmas in 1982, and it was Demi Lovato's first Christmas. She was tucked snugly into her bed, waiting for St. Nicholas, aka Santa Claus, to come deliver her gifts. She asked for a toy horse, like a stuffed animal toy horse. She was gonna name him Sally, and it was gonna be her favorite toy. She was very excited for this toy. She gave Santa Claus cookies, croissants, Timbits, molasses, eggnog, root beer, chicken. Everything was there for Santa Claus to eat.
Syrup for his cookies?
Yes, syrup for his cookies, just in case Santa wanted syrup for his cookies. Ketchup for cookies, everything for cookies. Anything you can put on a cookie was there for Santa Claus to eat in case he wanted it. And there was a note left there that says, "Help yourself to some cold, fresh tap water." So anyway, Demi Lovato goes to bed. Well, she was already in bed. So anyway, the Grinch is on the loose, like every Christmas Eve, and he's stealing the gifts.
What a fucking asshole.
He's stealing the gifts from all of the kids in the whole town. And the Grinch goes and steals Demi Lovato's toy horse Sally. But that's not all he stole. He also stole the gift of love. So after that, when Demi Lovato woke up, she was really pissed off. She was angry and sad. Every negative emotion was in her head at one time. So when Demi Lovato was only not even one, she went to the Grinch's cave, beat up the Grinch, stole back all the kids' gifts, gave it all back. The Grinch relied on the gifts to survive because the Grinch didn't work all year round. He just worked on Christmas Eve, stealing all night. And then throughout the year, he'd sell the gifts for firewood and groceries. So that year, he had nothing to sell for groceries and firewood. So they say he froze to death and starved to death up in his cave, and that Demi Lovato was the hero who killed him. But that was just an urban legend. No one really knew for certain if the Grinch was dead, and Demi Lovato didn't really remember doing that when she was a baby because she was so young. So anyway, 11 years later, Demi Lovato was 11. And she got an email that said, "Hello there, Demi Lovato. You're famous and you're a singer. Would you be interested in coming to Hogwarts School for Famous and Singers People?" So she's like, "Absolutely, I'd love to go there." So she goes there. Well, she pays her tuition first. And then she goes and buys all her books, her cooking pans and pots, her plates and tomatoes, because she needed that for cooking class, because for cooking class in Hogwarts, you need to bring your own stuff. She also needed to get blankets and stuff for the dorms, so she got all that sorted away, and then She's like, all right, bye, Mom, bye, Dad. I'll be back next year. Don't miss me too much. And then she gets on the train. The train's loaded. The train's packed right to the kilt. No one can move in there. And then she finds an empty caboose or whatever, like an empty cabin, whatever. And there's a guy sitting down there. He's wearing a red hunter's hat and he's smoking a cigarette. And she's like, hi there. Do you mind if I sit with you? And he's like, not at all. Come on in. My name's Holden Caulfield. Do you happen to know where the ducks go in the winter? And she's like, no, sorry, I don't know where that is. So they sit down, they have a chat, and then later on the train ride, a woman comes in. She's like, hello, my name's Tila Tequila. Do you mind if I sit with you? And they're like, absolutely, come on in, sit down. And then later that day, the not flight attendant, but the person who serves food on the train attendant, I guess, or rail attendant, she comes in, she's like, do you want anything from the trolley? And then Demi Lovato's like, no, I'm fine. And Tila Tequila's like, I'm fine as well. And then Holden Coffee's like, I'll get 3 chocolate frogs for me and my 2 new friends. So
chocolate frogs.
So they have their chocolate frogs, and they come with famous people cards, right? So Demi Lovato had on her card, she had Snoop Dogg, and then Holden Coffee was like, you know who? He's the headmaster of Hogwarts. And then they open up the chocolate frogs, and then the windows open on the train, and chocolate frog jumps out, and Demi Lovato's like, no! And when Demi Lovato was done saying no, they finally got to Hogwarts. And then they got off the train. And John Travolta was there, and he's like, first years, follow me. So they followed him, and they're waiting in the corridor. And DMX approaches Demi Lovato, and he's like, I heard you're the person responsible for killing the Grinch. Want to hang out with me sometime? Not hang out with losers like Tila Tequila and Holden Caulfield? And then Demi Lovato's like, no, I don't want to hang out with you. You're bad. You steal $3,200 from people. So DMX got really embarrassed by that, and he hated Demi Lovato ever since, and Demi Lovato hated him for the rest of the story because he was talking trash about her new friends, Holden and Tila, her good, loyal friends. So anyway, it's time to get sorted into houses now, and Hogwarts has 4 houses named after 4 famous people. There's Tupac House, Bob Marley House, Abe Lincoln House, and Marilyn Monroe House. Demi Lovato, Holden Caulfield, and Tila Tequila all wanted to be in Tupac House because that's the one all their ancestors were in, and they all wanted to be in the same one together. DMX wanted to be in Marilyn Monroe House because all his ancestors were in that. So, most importantly, Demi Lovato just really didn't want to be in Marilyn Monroe's house. He wanted to... or she wanted to be in Tupac really much, but like wanted to be not in Marilyn Monroe. Okay. So anyway, they're getting sorted into houses, and DMX's turn goes up. Before the hat can even touch his head, alright, DMX goes up and he sits down, and then the hat before it even touches his head, just like, Marilyn Monroe! And then he goes over and sits with all the Marilyn Monroe people in the Marilyn Monroe house. And they're like, and then Tila Tequila's and Tupac, as well as Holden Caulfield. And then when Demi Lovato gets up for her turn, sort of like, difficult, really difficult. You did good in Marilyn Monroe house. And then Demi Lovato's like, not Marilyn Monroe, not Marilyn Monroe. And then Sorting Hat's like, not Marilyn Monroe, hey? Then I'll put you in Marilyn Monroe's house. And then Demi Lovato's like, no! And then Sorting says, LOL, JK, you could be in Tupac with your friends. So they go in that's done. They're all sorted. Time for the feast. They're eating the feast. There's a kid that's like, Mom's a witch, Dad's a muggle. And there's music playing. It's like, dun 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 dun. So now, time for bed, because they got classes tomorrow morning. They go to class, they have math, do math. Then they have cooking class. They go to cooking class, and guess who's the teacher? It's a crow. And they're like, how's a crow supposed to teach us cooking? It can't talk, and it can't cook. So they're just hanging around, drinking water, playing checkers all class, and the crows just start going, caw, 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 caw.
The crow strikes again.
And then they have Illuminati class with Mr. Fackle. So they go to Illuminati class, and Demi Lovato is not really paying attention. She's just there texting and stuff, and then Mr. Fackle's like, some of us think it's not important to pay attention. And she's asking Demi Lovato, he's asking Demi Lovato a bunch of Illuminati questions Demi Lovato don't know the answer to, and every question she responds, I don't know, sir. And Tila Tequila raises her hand because she knows the answer. She's like, Mr. Fackle, and look at me, Mr. Fackle, I know the answer. Anyway, that's over. That class is over. And they just do a routine of classes after that until Halloween. So they're eating in the cafeteria Halloween. Snoop Dogg's there smoking weed. And the ghosts are partying around. Bob Marley's there smoking ghost weed. And all of a sudden the crow flies in. He's like, caw, 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 caw. And Snoop Dogg's like, what is it, crow? What is it, boy? And then crow goes, caw, caw, caw. And friggin' Snoop Dogg can speak crow language, so he's like, caw, 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 caw. Crow's back like, caw, 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 caw. It's like, caw, caw. And they're just speaking crow back and forth. And all of a sudden Snoop Dogg's like, yo, we got a problem. There's a troll in the dungeon. And everyone's flipping out. DMX is like, troll in the dungeon. DMX is flipping out, man. Yuck. So, they all go to their dormitories. Then Holden Caulfield points out to Demi Lovato, it's like, hey, I haven't seen Tila Tequila today. We gotta warn her. And then they go find her in the bathroom. But she's not alone in the bathroom. The troll is there too.
Oh no! What do they do?
And the trolls are going, rah, 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 rah. I almost killed Tila Tequila, but Holden Caulfield stabbed him in the leg with a pen. He died. And then Mr. Fackle, Snoop Dogg and all of them come up and they're like, good job, guys. Good job taking down this troll, man. 150 points to Tupac House. Good job, guys. I'm proud of you guys. So they're all really proud of themselves. Later on that afternoon, Demi Lovato decides to go for a stroll. She goes on the forbidden floor. Goes in this random room, and there's a big ape there. And she's like, oh my god, there's an ape in that room. She's like, why is there an ape there? So later on that night, she decides to go to the gym at 3 a.m., where she sees John Travolta, and they talk about politics, the weather, sports, more weather and stuff. Then Tila Tequila brings up the fact that there's an ape in Hogwarts, just randomly in this random room, and John Travolta's like, oh, that's Donkey Kong. And then Demi Lovato's like, Donkey Kong? But he's not a donkey. He's an ape. Demi Lovato just like really confused, like, why would he be there? And then John Travolta says he's protecting something. And then she's like, okay, what though? And it's like, I can't tell you that. So Demi Lovato's, all right then, don't tell me that, but I'll find out. So then Christmas rolls around. And for Christmas, they have turkey dinner, and they have presents because the Grinch isn't around to steal them. So, after Christmas, they decide to go figure out what's going on. So, with that ape again, so Holden Caulfield, Tila, and Demi go up to the gym at 3 a.m. to find John Travolta again. And then John Travolta says, if anyone wants to get past Donkey Kong, they just gotta sing him a nice song. So they're like, all right, I'm a really good singer. I'm famous for singing, Demi Lovato said. And then Holden Caulfield's like, my mom used to sing to me. And then Holden Caulfield starts asking John Travolta where the ducks go in the winter. And then, like, they talk about that for a bit, speculating different scenarios. Like, they think some people pick it up. John Travolta says, no, they stay there all year. And then Holden Caulfield's like, no, man, they got to go underground for winter. Like, Holden Caulfield got that on his mind all the time. Tila Tequila and Demi Lovato are drove with Holden Caulfield, just asking people that all the time. Anyway, they go back to their dormitories. And then they say, I'm going to go back and talk to John Travolta more and get more information on that stuff. So they go back to the gym in the middle of the day. John Travolta's not there because it's not 3 a.m. So they wait there in the shadows until 3 a.m. and they find John Travolta there. But DMX is also there. And DMX goes and tells Mr. Fackle on them for being out of bed after dark. So Mr. Fackle comes up. He's like, the 4 of you guys are out of bed. You guys gotta go to the Forbidden Forest with Mr. Fackle and find out who's killing the unicorns. So they do that for detention. And DMX and Demi Lovato are in one group. John Travolta, Tila Tequila, and Holden Caulfield are in the other group. They split up looking for who's killing the unicorns. So, they see a dead unicorn and a hooded figure over it drinking its blood. DMX's like, runs off. Demi Lovato tries to run off, trips over a stump. But it's not just any stump, it's a talking stump. And the stump's like, oh man, that hurt! You kicked me in the face! and then the hooded figure comes closer. And Demi Lovato realizes this big raven thing with a beak and all that. And she's really scared. Then a talking horse comes and kicks the raven in the head. The raven flies off. And then the horse is like, Demi Lovato, what are you doing in the Forbidden Forest? It's not any place for you to be. And then Demi Lovato's like, I'm just looking for who is killing the unicorns. That's detention. And the horse is like, do you know who that was? And then Demi Lovato was like, was that the Grinch? And then the horse is like, yes, that was the Grinch. and then they go back to school because it's not safe being outdoors with the Grinch going around all over the place, right? That raven-looking thing. Great creepy old thing. So they go home, they're all scared, and they think, maybe that the Grinch is trying to get the whatever Donkey Kong's protecting. So they go up to John Travolta one more time and ask him what is there. What's Donkey Kong protecting? The Philosopher's Stone. What's the Philosopher's Stone do? Asks Demi Lovato. He says, it makes people not die. It makes people immortal. And then Tila Tequila's like, why is it called Philosopher's Stone? Why is it not called Not Die Stone? And then John Travolta's like, you gotta give it a fancy name. A lot of hard work went into making the stone and protecting it from the Grinch and other bad people. So, they're like, alright, we're gonna get this stone before the Grinch gets it. So anyway, they just do more classes for a bit. Do some more classes, learn some stuff. Fool around in the cooking class because the crow can't teach.
Just getting ready to try to take the not die stone.
Yeah. The Philosopher Rock.
The Philosopher Rock.
So anyway, they decide one night they're gonna go get it. They're gonna go get the Philosopher's Stone. So Demi Lovato, Holden Caulfield, Tila suit up. They put on their war paint. They put those little black lines that football players put under their eyes. They put on helmets. They get guns, umbrellas, everything they need all packed into one suitcase. And they're ready to go. They go up to that floor. They go see Donkey Kong. They start singing, Demi Lovato starts singing Bangarang, her greatest hit. And Donkey Kong doesn't like that song. And he's like hitting the ground. Like that. He's hitting the ground. He's hitting the ground. And everyone's falling down. And Holden Caulfield's like, guys, stop singing that song. And Tila Tequila starts singing Juggalo music. And he doesn't like that either. He's like hitting the ground even more. And then Holden Caulfield's like, guys. He starts singing, I Think We're Alone Now to him. He's like, I think we're alone now. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. And then he just falls asleep. They open the door. They fall down. And there's a slimy thing they fall on, like a slimy plant.
Yeah, right, slimy?
Yeah, there's a slimy thing, and there's lizards all over it. And then,
yuck!
And then they're, just struggling with that, and then Tila Tequila's like, guys, stay still, we gotta sink down through it, guys, stay still. Demi Lovato and Tila Tequila sink down, no problem. Holden Caulfield, on the other hand, his leg gets stuck and he's stuck upside down. And then Tila Tequila and Demi Lovato haul him down and he hits his head on the concrete and gets knocked out allegedly. But it turns out he was just faking it because he was too scared to go on. So then they go on and there's the next room has a pool of water, like a huge swimming pool, and then a skidoo next to it. And then Tila Tequila's like, I think we gotta skip water across this to get to the next door. And then Holy Coffee's like, man, we're gonna sink if we try that. Why don't we just swim across? And it's like, yeah, why don't we just swim across? And then Demi Lovato's like, actually, we can skip across, but we kind of have to leave one of you guys behind. And then Holden Coffee's like, I was scared earlier, but I'm not leaving you guys alone to die. So they all swim across. And then they get to the next room. Next challenge. Next challenge is chess. So they get on the chessboard and they play, and Holden Caulfield gets injured. So Tila Tequila's like, you know what? I gotta stay with Holden Caulfield.
Challenges Connect 4.
You go on. You go on. Only you can defeat the Grinch, Demi. You did it once, you can do it again. And then Demi Lovato's like, yeah, I know. And she goes on. She walks down the stairs and then she sees the Grinch. No. That's the Crow. What's the Crow doing here? And then she realizes, like, the raven-looking thing could have been the Crow in the forest. The Crow is the Grinch.
Oh, shit!
And then, she sees the Philosopher's Stone. It's in this case. And it's all locked up. And then the Crow's like, caw, 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 caw. And then she hears the voices like, let me talk to her. And then all the feathers sheds off. And then, like, the Grinch, the Grinch transforms out of the Crow, and it's like a man, a green hairy man transformed out of the Crow. And then he's like, come here, Demi, I need your fingerprint for this case so I can get the Philosopher's Stone. And Demi Lovato's like, no way, I'm not doing that. So she doesn't do it. And then the Grinch is like, come here. And she's like, Grinch is grabbing her, trying to put her finger on. But then Demi Lovato grabs onto the Grinch's face, and the Grinch just like starts melting. And then like, he's kind of dead, but like his spirit comes back to life, and like goes right through Demi Lovato, and she passes out. And then she wakes up in the hospital next day. Snoop Dogg's by her side. Snoop Dogg's like, you saved the world. The Grinch almost became immortal, but you saved the world. I'm giving you and all three of your friends 300 points each for Tupac House. So they go down to they go down to the cafeteria where they're having the last meal of Hogwarts of the year, and Marilyn Monroe house is all celebrating because they think they won the House Cup, but the new points haven't been tallied up yet. Snoop Dogg makes the announcement, and Tupac House won.
Tupac House wins!
Everyone's going right crazy, right? And then it's time to go home for the summer, and they're all meeting up. They're meeting at the airport, and Holden Caulfield's like, "All right, guys, have a good summer home." And then Demi Lovato's like, "I'm not really going home. Not really. Hogwarts is my home." The end.
Shouts to all my lost boys. Shouts to all my lost boys. We rowdy. Shouts to all my lost boys. Shouts to all my lost boys. We rowdy. Shouts to all my lost boys. Shouts to all my lost boys. We rowdy. Shouts to all my lost boys. Shouts to all my lost boys. When you're ready, when you're ready. you ratchet.